Wednesday's decision by the court is no surprise given its deliberations on this matter over the past 7 years. Once again, the Polisario emerges with a legal victory under its belt, along with reaffirmation by the court that it is indeed the international legal representative of the people of Western Sahara. For the Commission and the Council of the EU, there is no easy way forward besides stalling for time.
The rulings of 2015 and 16 came as an unprecedented shock. Well, this time there's been no surprise. Based on the court's case law, it very soon became clear that the consultation process undertaken by the Commission and the European External Action Service with a series of stakeholders from Western Sahara would not amount to a legally valid expression of consent of the people of Western Sahara. These are the two key terms. And these were the requirements that had been established by the court in its previous rulings.
The decision was not surprising for 3 reasons. First, a similar decision was also made by the same court in the same case in 2015. Second, court judges are accustomed to adopting biased interpretations of some international principles related to the Western Sahara issue. Third, it seems that court judges are not sufficiently informed about the developments that took place in the Western Sahara region in recent years, and may also not fully understand the various and overlapping dimensions of the EU-Morocco partnership.
This is arguably one of the worst possible scenarios for the European Union, not that much in practical terms, at least for now, because there will be an appeal to these judgments, and until the final decisions, fisheries and agriculture arrangements will not be affected. But quite a bad outcome in political terms. Let's remember that the EU indeed invested quite some capital in order to get to these agreements that the court precisely annuls.
First, this ruling has thrown a life jacket to the Polisario front, which had been suffering from extreme isolation in recent months since the Trump administration recognition of Morocco's sovereignty over the Sahara. Second, this ruling has damaged Morocco's accumulated political gains and destabilizes the relations between the European Union and Morocco. Third, I think this gives more support to Algeria's effort to keep the conflict a region or strategy Algiers has adopted in its long-running confrontation with Rabat. The context currently is very different compared with 2015. We have today 2 new big decisions, the Trump recognition and the ruling of the General Court of the European Union. We also have a new personal envoy of the United Nations Secretary General, though his appointment is yet to be announced officially. Tensions between Rabat and Algiers have developed in unexpected ways during the 2 past years. Relations between Morocco and 3 European powers, Spain, Germany and France, are going through a difficult time.
Well, the first difference is that now all of the parties involved have had plenty of time to prepare for the rulings. Now we can see a willingness to avert an open diplomatic crisis in both Brussels and, most importantly, Rabat. Morocco has evolved towards an increasingly assertive foreign policy, including detaching itself from its former role as sort of model student of the European Union. But the bilateral relationship has been recalibrated again in the past few months as a result of the Ceuta crisis.
Over the past years, the EU has continued to prioritize its partnership with Morocco. This has enabled a deepening of bilateral trade and investment, and seen EU officials work hand in hand with their Moroccan counterparts to circumvent past rulings by the European Court of Justice. Yet, despite their best efforts, an unresolved conflict in Western Sahara has continued to disrupt their bilateral partnership.
The EU is more pragmatic and more assertive at the same time. More pragmatic because it knows that Morocco is one of the very rare stable partners in the region. More assertive in the sense that should Morocco decide to freeze relations again as it did a few years ago, I cannot imagine the EU to just watch and wait for the storm to pass. There is arguably less patience in the European Union with Morocco, and obviously more bilateral irritants involving some of its member states.
Nothing important has changed. Morocco and the European Union were and still are important economic partners. The court's decision will not change anything on the ground, and this economic partnership will continue because it is in the interest of both parties. There is a mutually beneficial relationship between the two parties. Morocco is in need of the Europeans, and the European Union is also in dire need of cooperation with Morocco, especially on issues of trade, investment, security, and migration.